night's biggest moment, of course, was Beyonce's pregnancy revelation.
Kathy White's true killer is going to be unveiled, and it's not a man.
Jay-Z called me. Hey, bro, Jay-Z, I know you got killers. Please don't send them out my head. Just call me. Talk to me like a man.
Cassie filed a lawsuit in New York City against Diddy.
It's the 6th lawsuit alleging abuse by Combs.
Video captured on multiple cameras shows Combs assaulting his then-girlfriend.
Sean Carter is just as bad as the diddler.
Y'all don't see the lineup?
Yeah, we see the lineup. I'm just waiting to see who's next.
Jay-Z is setting Diddy up. Why is everyone having such a hard time? He ain't doing different. He lined up D. Haven, stole his life and identity. He lined up Big L, stole his life and identity. Lined up R. Kelly. He lined up Dame Dash, stole his life, identity, and took his love. He wants to be the one.
Not only are Jay-Z and Diddy industry giants, but they are also lifelong friends who have supported each other through highs and lows. From dropping chart-topping collaborations to supporting each other through significant life events, their friendship spans decades. Fast forward to March 2024, when Homeland Security raids Diddy's home due to outrageous allegations of human trafficking, but Jay-Z, his closest friend, has been remarkably silent about the entire incident. Word on the street is that there has been some backstabbing in their friendship. There are rumors that Jay-Z was actually the reason Diddy's home was raided in the first place.
Diddy is planning on exposing all his partners in crime from back in the day after the lawsuits against him are getting more and more serious, and every day feels like he's inching closer to jail time. The reason he isn't in jail is because Diddy is allegedly working with authorities to expose Jay-Z's involvement in unaliving his mistress, Kathy White. So if the name Kathy White doesn't ring a bell, it's because she's been scrubbed from the internet, and people are saying Jay-Z was the one who got her removed from the web. Why? Because Kathy White was allegedly Jay-Z's side piece he got pregnant while he was married to Beyonce. Kathy was an up-and-coming publicist when she mysteriously died at 28 from what officials say was a brain aneurysm, despite being incredibly healthy and her death being, well, shady. Rumors about the alleged affair between Jay-Z and Kathy sparked after she was spotted at a Las Vegas nightclub partying with Jay-Z and Diddy. It didn't take long for people to start connecting the dots and figuring out that Kathy was Jay-Z's mistress. Kathy had enough of living a double life and decided that it was finally time to tell her story, and that's when she was offed. First responders to the scene felt her death was suspicious. An NYPD officer speculated that, quote, someone might have given Kathy a bad drug, end quote, and ordered a toxicology report, but that report never came. And it sounds like somebody was pulling strings to get her death covered up. Renewed attention on this case was started by someone who also believes Jay had something to do with Kathy's death, reporter Liz Krogan. Liz wrote an extensive report about the whole thing where she talked about how she reached out to Kathy for an interview about Jay-Z. Kathy allegedly told Liz that she would consider doing a tell-all about the affair. Then all of a sudden, Liz couldn't get through to Kathy again, and when she finally got a hold of one of her friends, she was informed that Kathy had passed away. And now Diddy is allegedly set to reveal all Jay-Z's secrets about how he unalived his mistress to protect his wife. And Diddy's not the only celebrity who feels this way, because Jaguar Wright once talked about how she believed Jay or Beyonce might have done the deed and then had people clean it up.
Life was taken unfairly. She actually died screaming. And the Carters are responsible. But one of them is just a little more responsible than the other. Question is, did Sean Carter delete his mistress, his pregnant mistress, because his wife was jealous? Or could it be possible that maybe his wife's temper is just a little worse than most people think? And maybe he just had to clean it up to protect the brand, see?
Anyway, it seems like fans are happy that people are finally talking about Kathy White, and some have even compared it to Kim Porter's death. Kim was Diddy's girlfriend, who also died.
Is a woman named Kathy White, who some claim to have been Jay's first mistress during his long relationship with Beyonce, and a woman whose untimely death in 2011 is claimed by some to be just the tip of the iceberg of the dark exploits of rap's ultimate power couple. Known by many names, Kathy White, Kathy Michelle White, Kathy Coriana White, or Lil Kathy, Corrina Hun, or Corrie to friends and family, according to her obituary, she was born in the Fort Polk military base in Louisiana, which has since been renamed Fort Johnson. This military base has its own hospital for the Army personnel called the Bain Jones Army Community Hospital. Kathy's grandfather was a World War II veteran, and perhaps the military gene ran in the family. However, sometime later, her family seemingly moved to Norfolk, Virginia, which is located in the southeasternmost point of Virginia in the so-called Tidewater region. Known for its major bays and rivers that give access to and harbor from the Atlantic Ocean, this is why the area is also home to numerous US Army bases, which may have something to do with the fact that her family moved there in the first place. Norfolk is also part of the so-called Southampton Roads region, which consists of several mid-sized cities that border each other, including Norfolk, Virginia Beach, Chesapeake, Portsmouth, and Suffolk, as well as having direct bridge access to the other side of the James River, where there are more similar-sized cities like Newport News and Hampton. This area, creating the Virginia Beach, Norfolk, Newport News metro area, has a combined population of almost 2 million people. But despite the area having a sizable population and being one of the largest metro areas in Virginia, many still describe it as having a small town feel. There, Kathy would seemingly attend the Indian River High School in the city of Chesapeake, and eventually she would graduate in 2000 from the Maury High School in Norfolk, before going on to study and graduate in 2004 from the esteemed Howard University in Washington, D.C. There are also many mentions of Kathy on Twitter by her friends, these painting a picture of a 20-something Kathy living her best life in the City of Angels. The kind of life that she had likely dreamt of as a kid growing up in Norfolk, like wining and dining at the hippest restaurants, shopping luxury fashion, and building a collection of designer purses, and of course going to the industry events and parties with her popular and influential friendship circle. With two of her friends, Nikki and Claudia, she would seemingly become so close while living it up in LA that they would playfully begin to refer to themselves as the Trilogy. But besides LA, there was seemingly one other place where Kathy and her friends would often frequent, Las Vegas. This appeared to be particularly the case with Claudia, who would often post about her visiting the Sin City either for work or for pleasure, often seemingly for both. And interestingly, it appeared that Jay-Z too was somewhat frequenting Vegas around this same time, and Claudia appeared to be at least to some degree connected with Jay-Z through mutual friends, such as the comedy powerhouse Marlon Wayans, and she would sometimes mention on Twitter about her plans of going to Jay-Z's concerts or parties while she was in Vegas. And it would be in May 2009 when she would allegedly attend one such party, together with Kathy White, sparking rumors about her, Jay, and even Diddy that still raise eyebrows on the internet to this very day. On May 2nd, 2009, Filipino boxing legend Manny "Pac-Man" Pacquiao was set to face the British boxing legend Ricky Hatton. Now, my dad and older brothers were boxing obsessives, and I remember staying up late to watch this fight as a teenager, but little did I know the madness that was going on behind the scenes. Now, this fight would take place in the famous MGM Grand Arena in Las Vegas, and many A-list celebrities had gathered in the city for this fight, including Jay-Z, his good friend P. Diddy, as well as the singer Cassie Ventura. Now, at this time, Kathy White hadn't yet joined Twitter, but based on the tweets of her good friend Claudia Jordan, it appeared that they had also arrived to Las Vegas to join in on the action. Around noon on the day of the fight, Claudia would tweet how she had been jogging and was about to hit the pool, spending a chill day in the lead up to the big party night. The fight between Pacquiao and Hatton would end up being one for the ages, with Pac-Man winning the match and knocking out Ricky Hatton in the second round, much to mine and my dad's disappointment, with what would later be awarded as the best knockout of the year by the Ring magazine. Now that hurt me deep, to be honest with you. But anyway, after that fight, the celebrity crowd would gather at numerous after parties that were likely taking place all over Las Vegas. One of these parties being at the popular Town nightclub in the heart of the Las Vegas Strip. This party being attended by none other than Jay-Z and P. Diddy, with both stars attending the party in full-blown A-list celebrity mode with sunglasses inside as if they weren't two of the most famous people on the planet. Also in attendance was Claudia Jordan and her crew, which included Kathy White, who was wearing an easily identifiable pinkish, purplish, magenta-colored dress, and a professional photographer named Denise Trusello was also present, seemingly there as official press, capturing pictures of the event, with her photos showing that the event had celebrities from all walks of entertainment, including people like the actor David Arquette, most famously known for the Scream movie series, as well as the singer Mel B from the Britpop icons the Spice Girls. And surprisingly, also in attendance was even the former hip-hop mogul of Death Row fame, Blood Gang member, and the rap game's top bully from Bompton, Suge Knight. Now, Suge Knight being in the same club as Jay-Z and P. Diddy is just insane by itself when you consider the long-standing rumors that Suge may well have been involved in the murder of Jay and Diddy's good friend, the notorious B.I.G., aka Biggie Smalls. But then again, the story of Diddy and Suge goes much deeper than you could possibly imagine, and all that's for another video. But anyway, it would turn out that the photos of the party taken by Trusello would eventually begin to play a part in sparking rumors about an affair between Jay-Z and Kathy White, with these photos showing Kathy and Claudia dancing together near P. Diddy and Jay-Z, with Kathy clearly having the time of her life. She can be seen holding an entire champagne bottle in one hand whilst her friends are toasting with glasses. In one of these pictures, Kathy can even be seen talking, or more likely hollering, at either another woman next to Jay or Jay himself, who is also turned towards her direction. In other pictures, Kathy's friend Nikki Chu can also be seen very close to Jay-Z having a direct conversation, which likely means that that group of women had at least some kind of relationship with him, which is probably why they were allowed to stay so close to Jay-Z and P. Diddy in the first place. There were also videos shot by fans during the night that were then posted to YouTube, where Nicki also appears to be very close to Jay-Z and Diddy. Yet another picture, this time seemingly taken by simply another partygoer, Kathy can this time be seen much closer to Jay, still with other people between them, with Kathy and her friend's eyes aiming straight towards the camera. Now, these pictures alone didn't prove anything untoward had happened between Kathy and Jay. However, the connection had now been made. They'd been seen drunkenly partying together, and the photos had been snapped for the whole world to see. But initially, nobody had any idea about what might have been going on behind the scenes. In fact, it was over a year later that these pictures would suddenly get some attention after claims about Kathy and Jay-Z's affair would hit the internet, with these rumors, unfortunately, changing Kathy White's life forever. After being snapped at a Las Vegas nightclub with Jay-Z and P. Diddy, Kathy White went back to her LA lifestyle and for a time moved on with life as normal. The rest of 2009, Kathy White would likely stay living the good life in Los Angeles, and at the end of the year, she would actually join Twitter, helping us get a better understanding of her life going into 2010. It seems that she was mostly staying in Los Angeles and doing the usual things like working, going out partying with her friends in mansions and at pool parties, attending events like basketball games and concerts, with at least one of these perhaps even being a Jay-Z concert. She would also travel with her friends, seemingly going to places like Paris, France. There were also changes happening in Kathy's life, as in the summer of 2010, posts would surface on social media indicating that Kathy was actually moving away from LA and back to the East Coast. But Kathy certainly wasn't heading back to Norfolk, but instead to the biggest metropolis in America and Jay-Z's home city, New York. And it also seemed that she had received some big deal work-related offer, with tweets discussing some kind of celebratory dinner and how she was about to blow up, with one post saying that she was just about to sign some kind of big deal. But unfortunately, the good news wouldn't last for long, because by the end of August, the rumor about Kathy and Jay-Z's affair would finally hit the internet.
I want you to think about this. Allegedly, Sean Carter is responsible for enacting Hype Williams to put Aaliyah on a faulty plane to move her out the way as punishment for rejecting him, and so he could level up Beyonce, who was struggling. Let's just say allegedly that happened. Now I want you to think about 106th and Park with Mary J. Blige. Free, who is a victim of Sean Carter.
Yeah.
Mary J. Blige, who is a victim of Sean Combs, are sitting there talking about the death of Aaliyah amongst each other. Think about that. You got a Diddy victim, you got a Jay-Z victim, and you got a superstar gone. They know what happened. And yet, they had to sit there and have that conversation like they didn't know who did it. Think of the power of that moment. Think about Claudia Jordan right now. Claudia Jordan don't ever mention my mother name. She mentioned it yesterday. Talking about why people are afraid to come forward. You mean like you? You was Diddy girl. Corey was Jay-Z girl. Why don't you claim your friend? Claudia.
So Jack, when you say...
When I say Corey, I'm talking about Kathy White.
Oh yeah, that's what I was about to ask.
Jay-Z's pregnant mistress,
yeah,
who died of an imaginary fucking aneurysm, just like the woman who was best friends with Kim and Kimura, who wrote the book Bling and died as soon as it made the bestsellers list. Who the fuck was these people supposed to go to? You can't go to the boss because the boss is f***ing you. And the boss's boss don't get no fuck. Can't go to the authorities. They're all bought and paid for. You could try to get a special prosecutor, but they'll just pay somebody to reassign him to another case. Where the f you go when you get over by the industry? Nowhere. That's where you go nowhere, which is where people like me step in. You Right, I go to Diddy parties. To walk out! Cause ain't nobody stopping me when I come.
That's one gloomy scandal then. Jay-Z has always been dogged by accusations, including the infamous rumor that he killed Big L, his biggest rival. Some claim he removed Big L from the picture to ensure a peaceful life with Beyonce. In the meantime, there are rumors circulating the industry that Jay-Z has hidden children and even paid a woman $2.5 million to keep her quiet about having his child. With this information public, fans are left wondering how much more Hova might be hiding.
Now let's talk about some of Jay-Z's love children, because when he's not pushing women around, he's getting them pregnant. And at one point, I guess he paid $2.5 million for a woman to disappear with his baby. I think we've actually talked about Jay-Z's children before. There's like one person who's spoken out claiming that they are Jay-Z's son, and I believe him. Jay-Z had actually hooked up with an adult film star named Jasmine Cashmere. And then a lot of people found out that she was pregnant with his baby. She ended up having the baby, but they made a public statement saying that they were not hooking up and that she was not, in fact, pregnant by Jay-Z's baby. Interestingly enough, a friend tipped off the news that Jay-Z had paid Jasmine $2.5 million to disappear, and that she had actually bought a new house around this time. Jasmine and her friends who had spread the rumors haven't bothered Jay-Z since the alleged payout. So is that a coincidence? Probably not. There's also another rumor that Jay-Z has a baby with a model named Chanel Scott, who is from Trinidad. Back in 2002, Jay-Z had an open relationship with Chanel while she was betrothed by another man. Oh, interesting. It was assumed that her child was her boyfriend's, but as her son grew up, the man rejected him as his own because the boy didn't look like him. After a paternity test confirmed that Jay is the father, he stepped up and took responsibility. He bought Chanel and his son a nice home in Trinidad and gave them $1 million. He also pays child support. So shoot, Beyonce probably knows about this one. Jay and Chanel are still friends who keep in contact. She's publicly stated that Jay is a good father and has a lot of interest in his boy. One of Chanel's family friends was quoted saying, "It was a big old mess at one time, but I think once they resolved the issue of fatherhood and of paternity, things started to level off."
There were also allegations that Jay-Z fathered a child with model Chanel Scott. A man named Gerald Andrews, who was assumed to be the child's father, said that a DNA test had shown that his son Malik Saeed was not his son and that Jay-Z is the father. However, representatives for Jay-Z denied the allegations once again, saying, "There is no truth to these ridiculous rumors. People should be ashamed of using this kind of story and exploiting a child for publicity and ratings." Gerald did retract the allegations, but there's no way to tell if he was paid to take back his words.
So there's two already, but there's another one. And actually one of Jay-Z's former friends claims that he has a secret adult daughter who lives in a house that he pays for. He alleges that his adult daughter resides in a home that Jay-Z purchased for her in Cambridge, Maryland, and that he pays her bills but allegedly doesn't allow her to put pictures of him around her house as part of their deal.
And one of Jay's old friends, Oshino, actually confirmed the allegations and said in 2022 that Jay-Z purchased a house for Letitia in Cambridge, Maryland, and that he paid her bills, but allegedly doesn't allow her to put pictures of him around the house as a part of their deal.
It's kind of bizarre that he has that agreement with her, but I guess it's because he wants to try to keep her on the down low, even though that didn't last for long, because Letitia actually came out and claimed that she is Jay-Z's secret daughter, and she's got DNA proof to support her claims. I guess Jay-Z used to date Lisa, her mother, back in 1990, and you've got to admit that Jay-Z and Beyonce are probably really unhappy that Letitia is out here talking about him. She was quoted saying, "I've been quiet for far too long. Join me as I tell you my story of living in the shadows of being Jay-Z's daughter in a city where everyone knew he was my father. There's no way he can deny anything, especially when there were people there that knew him."
Apparently, Letitia was born in 1990 after her mother Lisa had been introduced to Jay-Z through Lisa's sister, and the two immediately began a romantic relationship. The sister even wrote about the encounter on Facebook. "I know the story from start to finish. I hooked your mother and father up years ago. Jay-Z asked me who she was when I lived on 500 Side Greenwood Avenue. We chilled in that apartment so many times.
So you really can't trust anyone out here because a lot of people are spilling, Jay-Z's business, but also as they should, because he shouldn't be able to operate in secrecy and hurt other people. And some people wonder if Beyonce stands for this, but at one point their former bodyguard came out and claimed that Jay-Z was feeding Beyonce drugs to control her.
Oh my gosh, did you see this? So Jay-Z and Beyonce's ex-bodyguard is allegedly spilling all the tea. Now it's not been confirmed he actually is their bodyguard, but he's saying things like Beyonce's on drugs, Jay-Z will do anything to step on anyone for success and money. It is not good. Take a look at the video.
Beyonce and Jay-Z will do anything to destroy anyone who speaks out against them. Okay, I get the threats, but you have to remember one thing. I know your deepest secrets. I know so much about you and what you've done. I know so much on how you got where you are, how you stepped on many people. Beyonce, how you guys ended Carrie Hilson's career because she said something about you.
50 Cent is saying Jay-Z is going to be exposed next after Diddy. So Jay-Z had a close relationship with Diddy throughout his career, and 50 Cent pointed out that Jay seems to be missing after all the raids rained down on Diddy. Jay-Z was allegedly named on Epstein's client list. Epstein is a prolific child predator who would serve up underage girls to the elites. Epstein would fly out his clients and the girls to a private remote island in the Caribbean where they could get away with it and the girls couldn't escape because they were surrounded by sharks. It's been rumored Jay-Z had his own private island where the same stuff went down with Diddy, and we haven't seen the footage until now. And the similarities to Epstein are startling. It's in a remote part of the Caribbean and it has a landing strip. After Diddy's private jet landed in the Caribbean, it suspiciously went off the radar. So users are suspecting Jay's private island is where Diddy disappeared to, or at least hiding evidence. And they are also suspecting that this is where the hip-hop Predator ring occurred.
Well, we definitely received substantial evidence that he was involved in trafficking young women and children to the Virgin Islands for a very long period of time through our airport, through his private jet. And then he would, by helicopter or sometimes boat, would then transport them over to Little St. James. And that's where he has his complex where he lives, which is his official residence as well. And that these young girls and women were subject to exploitation through coercion, false imprisonment, where the passports at some points were taken away. The actions were just reprehensible. And it was quite a number of women, and we found through our investigation that at least up to 2018 that continued.
So what your investigation is showing is the broad scope of Jeffrey Epstein's nefarious activities, that it just kept going.
Based on the evidence that we found thus far. Let me make something very clear. Jeffrey Epstein was very good at protecting himself and being secret. The secrecy he was very good at that. And because of his wealth, his power, he was able to do that and secure that. So when you think about it, he owns a private island. That's an island over a mile away from St. Thomas, the main island. And it's out there and it's isolated. He purchases that, right? Then he owns the jet that flew in to the airport. It's under a name of one of the front companies that actually has been named in our complaint, but it's him. He's the member of that LLC. And he owns the helicopter and the boats that took or transported him and the women and children over to the island. So when you think about that, it's him orchestrating all of that. Yes, there may have been baggage handlers. There may have been other persons who looked and saw him and other females with young girls. Yes, but I think that it's important that we focus on how Jeffrey Epstein was so able to create such an elaborate scheme, especially by doing it in such secrecy, and he had the money and power to create the secrecy so that not just local authorities, but we have federal authorities here too, that are here all along. Not even they might have been able to see it. In looking at that, you have to really, get a good understanding of how he was able to protect and isolate himself. Once you get on that island, how do you get off? It's not like a person who's on the island can just say, okay, I'm gonna swim to St. Thomas. They can't do that. It's not like a person who's there and needs help that they can sneak away and run outside and flag down a vehicle or flag down a police car or run to the nearest police station like they might be able to do on St. Thomas, on the main island. The island is isolated. So that kind of isolation is really what you have to look at when you start to think, how could this have happened for so long?
Well, ZNS News has learned that American celebrity couple Jay-Z and Beyonce have purchased their own private island in the Bahamas. The two reportedly bought Stranger's Key, a small island north of Walker's Key in the Abacos, for just under $3 million. Their 360-acre private island is about half a mile wide and about 2 miles long. There is a natural harbor on the west side of the island, and the island can accommodate an airstrip of at least 5,000 feet. The Atlantic Ocean is on the eastern end of the private island, and shallow waters off the Grand Bahama Bank is on the western side. The celebrity couple have not stated publicly how they hope to develop their private island.
Jay-Z seems to be hiding from the media circus and naturally not supporting his closest buddy Puff Daddy as a result of all these revelations.
So 50 Cent savagely trolls Jay-Z for laying low amid Diddy legal drama. Hey, what's up? I'm A-Dub, and check this out. So posted on Instagram on Wednesday, May 15th, 50 mocked Hope's public silence over the bad boy boss's legal troubles, accusing him of strategically laying low. Alongside an unflattering close-up photo of the Roc Nation mogul, 50 wrote, "Jay in hibernation, he ain't coming outside till this ish with Puff blow over. No brunch, no lunch, no dinner. LOL, I'm all you got, I'm outside." 50 was referencing Jay-Z canceling this year's Roc Nation brunch, which is held annually before the Grammy Awards and is typically attended by Diddy, among other A-list celebrities. This is not the first time that 50 Cent has taken aim at Jay-Z over Diddy's allegations, all of which the Bad Boy Records founder denies. Back in March, the G-Unit boss shared an image of a milk carton with Jay-Z's face edited onto its missing children's ad slot. "Anybody seen Jay? LOL. Puff said the ain't answering his phone, LOL." He captioned the post, jokingly suggesting Jigga had gone ghost on his longtime friend in his time of need. 50 later uploaded a deepfake video from the film New Jack City with the faces of actors Wesley Snipes and Ice-T, altered slightly to represent Puffy and Hove, respectively.
I should have killed you myself. See, that's the difference between you and me. Yeah, well, this is over with. You can come to work for me.
He wrote underneath the clip, "This thing is bigger than Nino Brown, LOL, New Jack Diddy." With his caption, 50 appeared to be implying that Jay-Z has some knowledge of Diddy's alleged crimes of trafficking. Jay has yet to comment on the allegations made against Diddy by various parties, including his ex-girlfriend Cassie and the Love album producer Lil Rod. 50 Cent has also used deepfakes to mock Diddy since the first lawsuit was filed against him in November, including one that involved Donald Trump. In March, he shared a doctor video which showed former President Trump saying,
Puffy, you stupid I told you stop with R. Kelly. I said grab them in the don't kidnap the They raided your see. I got a courtesy call when they raided my house. You really up.
The deepfake also referenced rumors of a gay affair between Diddy and Meek Mill, which the Dreams and Nightmares rapper strongly denied.
Can I get a copy of the Meek Mill tape, please?
50 Cent has been aggressively trolling Jay-Z for his public regard for Diddy's legal trouble. 50 accused Jay-Z of laying low and avoiding public appearances like the annual Roc Nation brunch, which was canceled this year to avoid being associated with Diddy's social allegation. 50 words. Jay in hibernation, he ain't coming outside to the Puff, to the puff blow over, no brunch, no lunch, no dinner. He said 50 posted memes and deep fakes mocking Jay-Z, suggesting he has knowledge of Diddy's alleged crimes. 50 has stated that the situation is bigger than Nino Brown in reference to the film New Jack City, further implying Jay-Z's potential involvement. He said, despite 50's relentless trolling, Jay has remained silent on the Diddy situation. He said 50 has intensified his campaign against both Jay and Diddy, continuing to use his platform to publicly shame and criticize them both.
Jay-Z doing what the is exactly what he's supposed to do. Stay out of
Jesus
stay
Christ.
out of. Oh my God, that's him for real? No, that's not him.
Jesus Christ.
Oh,
That's
just,
I'm
can the
like,
chat?
what?
Can the people see that right now?
That look
gosh.
like the camel on the front of the cigarette.
Oh, that's a
Right
mirror.
there.
That's a mirror effect. You see how he got two of them things on his lip? That's like the mirror effect.
No,
Type
look
where they
at the
like
lips,
zoom the
though.
face in. That like the little mirror effect.
That's
shit.
a camel with herpes.
That look just like.
What?
No
the-
cap.
That's Jay though.
But not
That's
Jay-Z.
Jay.
Jay-Z, that's not.
With the features
It's not him, but that's
intensified.
Yeah. Later.
But Jay-Z doing exactly what he's supposed to do, man. He's staying out the way, staying out of the media. You know what I'm saying? Especially with these tough allegations that these people going through right now. Man, I'd be doing the same.
You see how 50 Cent always be bringing attention to these motherfuckers?
He is a troll.
He really do what he want.
Yeah.
He's the master troll,
Like,
bro.
he do what he want. That's how that just showed, like, beyond his trolling, that just show you how much power 50 Cent really got.
But 50 don't be
A lot of
doing
these
all that
stars be
weird
way scared. Nah,
Yeah, 50
outside
ain't
of
with
that,
that
you feel me?
weird-
He'll be doing that shit.
I'm saying-
You'll get your ass popped. He got a lot of power.
No, yeah, that's
where
what
he
I'm
can
saying.
talk about whatever, nigga. Like, and he's not gonna do
He
nothing.
didn't join
niggas
that
not
force
gonna
with
say
all them.
nothing.
He's still standing on his own, and cleanup team still available. You get what I'm saying?
No cap, nobody gonna do nothing, bro. The always bleeding a little. That just show you how much power he really got behind the scenes, how much money he got, how much he own. Like
bro.
that just show his power, cause he talk about that didn't say. He just put it in a joking manner.
He out raps
want.
allegations.
Hey, but guess what?
Right.
But guess
He
what?
overcame him.
And if really think about it and look back, the shit was trolling about 5 years ago is the that's transpiring right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So that's
He's not
why
really trolling, bro. He
that's-
says it in a joking manner and really give you some real
They
information.
the same. Is that coming over with a story about Diddy? The same that was at the party coming to give 50 some talk about some. You know what I mean? Like Diddy's out of
That's
control.
how a lot of do be.
Yeah.
Then he's revealing
knit.
that they shouldn't be knowing.
But
like,
Jay-
damn, I know me and you only had this conversation.
What
So when
Jay
you come-
supposed to say amidst of motherfuckers alleging that somebody, now if he get found guilty and Jay make a public statement, cool. What the is friends making public statements for right now and they don't know if it's true or false?
Right.
He's not saying public statement in general. He's just saying, where are you? You haven't been seen.
It's always where is Jay.
But it's,
You haven't
yeah.
been seen. No, it ain't. He be seen at all
But-
kinds of
But the
He be
thing,
seen at basketball games. It's the playoffs right now.
but what should
So
he
he
do?
ain't
though?
been outside at the playoffs or nothing.
But what do we expect him to do though? That's the thing.
Live your life. Be regular. We ain't seen him. That's what he's saying. He's not saying make a post. He's not saying defend your mans. He's just saying, where are you? You haven't been seen. Jay-Z be at he do humanitarian shit.
Montages
He
anyway.
be at games, courtside, all the time. I don't know where y'all be. Jay-Z be courtside to everything. It's the playoffs right now. And no Jay-Z.
I can't take a break.
This a real convenient time. This a real convenient
Nephew
time.
Meek up under fire too. It's like, damn, man.
Hey,
It's a
look.
real convenient time,
Hey, look.
Jay. Where you
Hey,
at,
look.
Playboy?
Jay-Z ain't popping out until he gets subpoenaed.
50 Cent ain't
You
been
hear me?
wrong yet.
But look,
And 50 ain't been wrong yet, though. Let's be real.
Right.
No.
50 don't be wrong about
How about
Have you guys seen this interview?
Have you ever been to a P. Diddy party?
Yeah, many, honestly.
And so, can you take us through, like, what goes on, like, when you were there?
Money. And
Were you surprised that there were so many cameras in his houses?
no.
So why does Puffy, why now? Why?
Because he's the acceptable monster at this time. Like R. Kelly was the last time I sat on this couch.
So who's next?
Y'all don't see the lineup? Jay-Z is setting Diddy up.
So y'all know Jay-Z and Diddy, they've been tight for a real long time. They've got a lot of stuff that they've done together throughout the years, and they've got tons of pictures, but I ain't heard nothing out of Jay-Z since all this Diddy stuff happened. What do y'all think?
In the comments section below, please share your thoughts on whether or not Jay-Z is setting Diddy up. If you liked the video, please click the subscribe button to ensure that you don't miss any future releases. Until then, family, keep it real.